Good evening, everyone. We are here to celebrate a special felicitation ceremony for Honorable Justice Madam Aisha Shujune, the senior most judge of the Supreme Court of Maldives, organized by the Bangladesh International Mediation Society. অনুষ্ঠানের শুরুতে সম্মানিত অতিথিদেরকে উত্তরীয় ক্রেস্ট এবং উপহার প্রদান করা হবে। Now, as a token of love and respect, we would like to present crest, gift and উত্তরীয় to our guest. এখন আমি অতিথিদেরকে সম্মান ও ভালোবাসা স্বরূপ উত্তরীয় ক্রেস্ট এবং উপহার প্রদান করার জন্য বাংলাদেশ ইন্টারন্যাশনাল মেডিয়েশন সোসাইটি সম্মানিত সদস্যদের পর্যায়ক্রমে অনুরোধ জানাচ্ছি। প্রথমে আমি অনুরোধ করছি রেফা তামান্নাকে আমাদের আজকের অনুষ্ঠানের প্রধান অতিথি অনারেবল জাস্টিস ম্যাডাম ফারহা মাহবুব মহোদয়কে ক্রেস্ট, গিফট এবং উত্তরীয় দিয়ে অভিনন্দন জানানো হয়। I would like to refer to present of token of honor to our guest of the Madam Justice Farah Mahmood. Now, I would like to request Sohani Islam to present the token of honor to our guest of the hour, Justice Madam Aisha Shujune Hon'ble. এই পর্যায়ে আমি অনুরোধ করছি অ্যাক্টিভ মিডিয়েটর অর্নি ইসলামকে মাননীয় হাই কমিশনার সুইনিন রশিদকে সম্মাননা প্রদানের জন্য। I would like to request Orni Islam to present the token of honor to our guest Suinin Rashid. আমি অনুরোধ করছি অ্যাক্টিভ মিডিয়েটর মমতাজ পারভিন মৌকে, অ্যাডভোকেট বাংলাদেশ সুপ্রিম কোর্ট, আমাদের আজকের অতিথি জাস্টিস অনারেবল জাস্টিস আহমেদ সোহেল মহোদয়কে ক্রেস্ট, গিফট এবং উত্তরীয় দিয়ে বরণ করে নেওয়ার জন্য। I would like to request Mumtaz Parveen Mo to present the token of honor to our guest, Honorable Justice Ahmed Sohel. আমি অনুরোধ করছি রোকসানা খানমকে অনারেবল জাস্টিস আব্দুর রহমান মহোদয়কে সম্মাননা প্রদানের জন্য। I would like to request Roxana Khanum to present the token of honor to our guest, Justice, Honorable Justice Abdur Rahman. এই পর্যায়ে আমি অনুরোধ করছি অ্যাক্রিডিটেড মিডিয়েটর নুসরাত জাহান সুইটিকে আমাদের আজকের অতিথি অনারেবল জাস্টিস উর্মি রহমানকে উত্তরীয় উপহার এবং ক্রেস্ট দিয়ে বরণ করে নেওয়ার জন্য। অতিথিদের আমরা ফুল দিয়ে বরণ করে নেব। Flower are the music of the ground. Now we will welcome our guests with flower bucket. এবার আমাদের অতিথিদেরকে ফুল দিয়ে বরণ করে নেওয়ার জন্য প্রথমেই আমি অনুরোধ করছি আমাদের সম্মানিত প্রধান অতিথিকে ফুল দিয়ে বরণ করে নেবে অ্যাক্রিডিটেড মিডিয়েটর অ্যাডভোকেট অ্যাপিলেট ডিভিশন বাংলাদেশ সুপ্রিম কোর্ট ইশরাত হাসান। যার জন্য আমাদের আজকের এই বিশেষ আয়োজন, আমাদের আজকের অনুষ্ঠানের ম্যাডাম জাস্টিস আয়েশা, তাকে ফুল দিয়ে বরণ করার জন্য অনুরোধ করছি অ্যাক্রিডিটেড মিডিয়েটর তানজিলা রহমানকে। জাস্টিস এ পর্যায়ে রিফা তামান্নাকে অনুরোধ করছি ম্যাডাম জাস্টিস সুইনিংকে ফুল দিয়ে বরণ করে নেওয়ার জন্য। হার এক্সেলেন্সি ম্যাডাম জাস্টিস সুইনিং। এ পর্যায়ে অনারেবল জাস্টিস আহমেদ সোহেল মহোদয়কে ফুল দিয়ে বরণ করার জন্য বিনীত অনুরোধ জানাচ্ছি অ্যাক্রিডিটেড মিডিয়েটর সুহানি ইসলামকে। অনারেবল জাস্টিস আব্দুর রহমান মহোদয়কে ফুল দিয়ে বরণ করে নিচ্ছে অ্যাক্রিডিটেড মিডিয়েটর অন্নি ইসলাম। সর্বোপরি ম্যাডাম জাস্টিস উর্মি রহমানকে ফুল দিয়ে বরণ করে নিয়েছে অ্যাক্রিডিটেড মিডিয়েটর অ্যাডভোকেট বাংলাদেশ সুপ্রিম কোর্ট মমতাজ পারভীন মো। ধন্যবাদ। আমি বিনীতভাবে অনুরোধ করব অতিথিদেরকে আসন গ্রহণ করার জন্য। Every great journey has an inspiring story. To know more about our guest of honor, I now invite Sohani Islam to read the biography of Honorable Justice Madam Aisha Shujune Hon'ble. আমি বিনীতভাবে অনুরোধ করছি সোহানি ইসলামকে আজকের অনুষ্ঠানে, যাকে নিয়ে আমাদের এত আয়োজন, তার জীবনীটি পড়ে শোনানোর জন্য।
Assalamu alaikum everyone. The Bangladesh International Mediation Society (BIMS) is a non-profit and self-contributory organization in Bangladesh that promotes peaceful dispute resolution through mediation instead of court cases. It provides mediation services, trains people to conflict resolution and organize programs to spread awareness about alternative dispute resolution ADR. Its main goal to reduce legal conflicts and build a more peaceful society. I would now like to introduce to all of you a woman of strength who is truly an inspiration to us. Honorable Justice Aisha Shujune Muhammad was born in Malay Republic of Maldives. She completed her Bachelor of Laws under the University of London External Program at the Royal Institute in Colombo, Sri Lanka, and read for her Masters of Laws at the University of Western in Perth, Australia. Justice Aisha Shujune Muhammad was appointed to the Supreme Court on 4th September 2019, while she was a private practice as associate partner at Nashid and co-law practice prior to her appointment at the Supreme Court since 1997. She has filled a number of positions, including the position of judge at the Civil Court, varied executive and legal positions at the Ministry of Justice and Juvenile Court, and project position at the Ministry of Gender. Justice Aisha Shujune Muhammad has also worked extensively with society organization on a number of issues, primarily with a focus on human rights and good governance. Justice Aisha Shujune Muhammad had also served as a member of Judicial Service Commission of Maldives 2019 to 2024, a member of the Advisor Board of the Faculty of Sharia and Laws, Maldives National University 2021 to 2024, and a member of Advisor Board of the Judicial Academy of Maldives 2021 to 2024. Justice Aisha Shujune Muhammad was elected as a member of the first executive committee of the Bar Council of Maldives in 2019, from which she resigned upon appointment to the Supreme Court in addition. She has served the United Nations Subcommittee on the Prevention of Torture (SPT) as its vice chairperson for jurisprudence and SPT reporter from 2011 to 2018. Justice Aisha Shujune Muhammad was re-elected to the SPT and served as a vice chairperson for National Preventive Mechanism from 2021 to 2024. She has recently elected in as SPT Vice Chairperson and Rapporteur in 2025 for a period of 2 years. Thank you, everyone.
ধন্যবাদ। শান্তি মানে এই নয় যে যে কোনো বিরোধ থাকবে না, বরং শান্তি হলো শান্তিপূর্ণ উপায়ে বিরোধ নিষ্পত্তি করার ক্ষমতা। এখন স্বাগত বক্তব্য প্রদানের জন্য আমি অনুরোধ করছি সুপ্রিম কোর্টের আপিল বিভাগ এবং হাইকোর্ট বিভাগের আইনজীবী Barrister Nishat Mahmoodke, Accredited Mediator, Bangladesh Mediation Society. Peace is not the absence of conflict, but the ability of handle conflict by peaceful means. Now I invite Barrister Nishat Mahmood for the welcome address.
Excellencies, Honorable Chief Guest, Honorable Guests of Honor, distinguished speakers, esteemed members of the judiciary, and accredited mediators, good afternoon. I, Barrister Nishat Mahmood, accredited mediator and advocate of the Supreme Court of Bangladesh, feel deeply honored and privileged to stand before you today to deliver the welcome address at this felicitation ceremony in the honor of Honorable Justice Madam Aisha Shujune, Honorable Most Senior Judge of the Supreme Court of Maldives. It is a matter of great pride and pleasure for me to warmly welcome our Honorable Chief Guest, Madam Justice Farah Mahbub, Honorable Judge of the Appellate Division of the Supreme Court of Bangladesh. Your gracious presence significantly elevates the importance of this occasion. I am equally honored to welcome our distinguished guest of honors, Honorable Justice Mr. Ahmed Sohail and Honorable Justice Mr. Abdurrahman, Honorable Judges of the Supreme Court of Bangladesh, as well as Her Excellency Shirin Rashid, High Commissioner of the Maldives to Bangladesh. Your presence reflects the enduring friendship and cooperation between our nations. I would like to extend my sincere welcome to our distinguished member of judiciary who are present here, our honorable judges of the Supreme Court, Honorable Justice Ms. Fatima Najib, Madam, Honorable Justice Ms. Fahmida Kader, Madam, Honorable Justice Ms. Mubina Asif, Madam, Honorable Justice Ms. Ainun Nahar Siddiqa, Madam, Honorable Justice Ms. Shatika Hussain, Madam, Honorable Justice Tamanna Rahman, Madam, Honorable Justice Fatima Anwar. I hope I didn't miss anyone. I sincerely begging apology if I did. I also welcome everyone for your kind presence. Thank you. I would like to extend my sincere welcome to our distinguished guest speakers, Mr. Arif Khan, Deputy Attorney General of Bangladesh, and Mr. Sharif Mohammad Sanaul Haq, District and Sessions Judge, Nari o Shishu Nirjatan Daman Tribunal, Chalokati. I also warmly welcome our esteemed speakers, Mr. Alamgir Hussain, accredited mediator and advocate appellate division of the Supreme Court of Bangladesh, Ms. Suhani Islam Shomakti, BIM's ambassador, Ms. Humaira Noor, accredited mediator and advocate Supreme Court of Bangladesh, and Mr. Shah Muhammad Babur, Secretary, Supreme Court Mediation Forum, accredited mediator and advocate of the Supreme Court of Bangladesh. I would like to respectfully acknowledge that this session will be presided over by Honorable Justice Ms. Urmi Rahman, Honorable Judge of the Supreme Court of Bangladesh, and skillfully moderated by Ms. Rashida Chaudhary Nilu, accredited mediator and advocate, Appellate Division, Supreme Court of Bangladesh. Under the visionary leadership of our respected Sir, Senior Advocate of the Supreme Court of Bangladesh, Mr. S.N. Goswami, the Bangladesh International Mediation Society, BIMS, was established in 2017 to advance mediation in Bangladesh. Since its inception, BIMS has organized numerous symposiums, conferences, and workshops while actively engaging accredited mediators across the country, including with the Supreme Court. With the support of honorable judges of the Supreme Court, these mediators have successfully facilitated the resolutions of several cases with others currently in progress. Excellencies, distinguished guests, and our accredited mediators. Today's gathering is a reflection of our shared commitment to justice, judicial excellence, and the advancement of mediation as an effective mechanism for dispute resolution. As we facilitate Honorable Madam Justice Ms. Aisha Shujune, we celebrate not only her distinguished career, but also her remarkable contribution to strengthening the rule of law and promoting access to justice through mediation. On a personal note, it is a privilege for me to be a part of this significant occasion and to welcome such an esteemed gathering of legal luminaries and mediators. With these words, I once again extend my heartfelt welcome to all you all. I hope today's program will be both enriching and memorable for everyone present. Thank you.
ধন্যবাদ ব্যারিস্টার নিশাত মাহমুদ আপনার স্বাগত বক্তব্যের জন্য। Now, I would by gracing our program with their presence, আজকে আমাদের অনুষ্ঠানে এসে আমাদের অনুষ্ঠানকে আরও বেশি আলোকিত করেছেন আমাদের হাইকোর্ট ডিভিশনাল অনারেবল জাজেস, অনারেবল জাস্টিস ম্যাডাম ফাতেমা নাজিব, অনারেবল জাস্টিস ম্যাডাম ফাহমিদা কাদের, অনারেবল জাস্টিস ম্যাডাম সাথিকা হোসেন, অনারেবল জাস্টিস ম্যাডাম ফাতেমা আনোয়ার, অনারেবল জাস্টিস ম্যাডাম মুবিনা আসফ, Honorable Justice Madam Tamanna Rahman Khalidi, and Honorable Justice Madam Ainun Nahar Siddiqui. সেই জয় শ্রেষ্ঠ জয়, যেখানে প্রতিপক্ষ মনে করে যে সে জিতেছে, আর এটাই হলো মিডিয়েশনের মূল চেতনা। The best victory is when the opponent takes a defeat as a win. এই পর্যায়ে আমি মিস্টার আলমগীর হোসেন, অ্যাক্রিডিয়েট মিডিয়েটর, অ্যাডভোকেট, অ্যাপিলেট ডিভিশন অ্যান্ড হাইকোর্ট ডিভিশন, বাংলাদেশ সুপ্রিম কোর্ট, তাকে অনুরোধ করছি তার মূল্যবান বক্তব্য প্রদানের জন্য।
Honorable Chief Guest, Madam Justice Farah Mahbub, Judge, Appellate Division of the Supreme Court of Bangladesh, Honorable Justice Aisha Shujune Mahmud, Her Excellency Madam Shainin Rashid, High Commissioner of Maldives to Bangladesh, Honorable Justice Ahmed Sohel, Honorable Justice Abdul Rahman, and also many judges from the High Court Division who are present here. Respected Chair, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, very good afternoon. Honorable Justice Aisha Shujune Mahmud, her Felicitation program, I would like to say, as an advocate, practicing Supreme Court of Bangladesh, and as an accredited mediator, it is a profound privilege for me to address this gathering at the Felicitation program organized by Bangladesh International Mediation Society, in short we call BIMS. We are deeply honored to welcome Justice Aisha Shujune Mahmud, a Justice of the Supreme Court of Maldives, and a globally respected advocate for human rights, good governance, and of course, mediation. Her career reflects exceptional integrity, dedication, and a lifelong commitment to justice. Her recent visit to historical Paharpur, Nauga on 18th April 2026 was truly meaningful. She shared her wisdom with our young girl students, emphasizing the transformative power of mediation, dialogue, and peaceful resolution. In today's world, where conflicts are frequent and complex, her message is not only relevant, it is also very much essential. Her visit in Paharpur, locally and nationally, many newspapers, they made their newses, and all over Bangladesh, the citizens of this country, they got insights about the mediation, how actually mediation process is working in Bangladesh. Not only that, more than those who joined in the Paharpur conference, the students, they also inspired themselves, and many of them, they shared after the program, they say they will dedicate themselves for the society as a peacemaker in the path of mediation. Bangladesh International Mediation Society is not just an organization, it is a movement towards peaceful resolution, efficiency, and access to justice. Through training program, workshops, BEAMS is preparing lawyers and community members to serve the nation in the path of mediation. Now I would like to say something about BEAMS and mediation in Bangladesh, what actually BEAMS doing last few years. Though BEAMS started its journey in the year of 2017, from that time to till today, what they did, I am also, from the beginning to till today, I am also part of the BEAMS, and BEAMS trained 42 judges from the subordinate courts as accredited mediator, and they took training and they call themselves as a judge as well as accredited mediator. So here we got 42 judges from our subordinate judiciary. As per request of BEAMS, our Supreme Court established Supreme Court Mediation Center. I feel it is a great achievement for us because we got Supreme Court Mediation Center. We are sitting here. This is actually given by Supreme Court, and it is actually the venue of Supreme Court Mediation Center. 35 districts mediation center are functioning actively right now in Bangladesh. BEAMS started its journey in 2017. From that time to now, we have public People's Mediation Center and also Community Mediation Center. Many places we got very success to settle the disputes among the community people, and this was our great achievement through People's Mediation Center as well as Community Mediation Centers. BEAMS think that if we work only lawyers and other professionals, the thing is that maybe mediation will be of course possible, but we have to start from student level. That is why BEAM started its students' wings, and we have school-going students, especially high school-going students, college-going students, and university-going students. Overall in Bangladesh, more than 1,500 students directly or indirectly involved with the BEAMS initiative and BEAMS program. BEAMS trained around 600 people from various professions like lawyers, doctors, police personnel, NGO workers to become a mediator, and after their training they became mediator. BEAMS not only work in Bangladesh, it also work around the world globally. BEAMS working closely with Asia Africa Mediation Association, shortly we call AMA. And BEAMS also a proud member of Asian Mediation Association. And BEAMS also closely working with IIM, Indian Institute of Arbitration and Mediation, and many other organizations around the world. BEAMS has appointed representative in India, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bhutan, Thailand, Tanzania, Kenya, Spain, UK, USA, UAE, and many other countries. And they are also working with us very actively and closely. Our one judge from the High Court Division, we are very grateful to him, Mr. Justice Ahmed Sohail, who recognized, awarded as gold medalist in the path of mediation. He got. I would like to pay my heartfelt tribute to the chairman of BEAMS, Senior Advocate S.N. Goswami. His long-standing service, vision, and dedication have been instrumental in promoting mediation in Bangladesh. Honorable Justice Aisha, your presence today inspires us all. You remind us that true justice transcends the courtroom. It is achieved when we disputes are resolved with fairness, respect, and humanity. Let us promote dialogue over dispute and settlement over conflict, building a society where justice, peace, and harmony prevail. Once again, we extend our warmest welcome and deepest gratitude to Justice Aisha Shujune Mohammed. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Alamgir Hussain, for your valuable speech. Peace is not the absence of conflict, but the ability to handle conflict by peaceful means. শান্তি মানে এই নয় যে কোনো বিরোধ থাকবে না, বরং শান্তি হলো শান্তিপূর্ণ উপায়ে বিরোধ নিষ্পত্তি করার ক্ষমতা। অনুষ্ঠানের এই পর্যায়ে আমি অনুরোধ করছি অ্যাক্রিডিটেড মিডিয়েটর এবং অ্যাডভোকেট বাংলাদেশ সুপ্রিম কোর্ট, সেক্রেটারি সুপ্রিম কোর্ট অফ মিডিয়েশন ফোরাম মিস্টার শাহ এমডি বাবর তার মূল্যবান বক্তব্য রাখার জন্য।
Good afternoon, everyone. Honorable Justice Aisha Shujune Mohammed, we are grateful to you for being present here. Honorable Chief Guest, Ms. Lordship Farah Mahbub, thanks for accepting our invitation and being Chief Guest here. And we are grateful to Her Lordship Urmi Rahman for being the judge presiding over the program. Honorable Justice Ahmed Sohail sir, a gold medalist mediator, a pioneer in the field of mediation in Bangladesh. Honorable Justice Abdur Rahman sir and Her Excellency, I welcome you all to the program. Honorable Justices of the High Court Division of Bangladesh, Honorable fellow foreign delegates and fellow mediators, and all present here and all who are listening this recorded video, I welcome you all to the felicitation ceremony of Honorable Justice Aisha Shujune Mohammed. It's an honor for Bangladesh Supreme Court Mediators Forum to be present here and to give a felicitation to the Honorable Justice of Maldives Supreme Court, Her Lordship Aisha Shujune Mohammed. You will be happy to know that a list of mediators has been already handed over to the Honorable Chief Justice of Bangladesh, Mr. Zubaidur Rahman Chowdhury, and these mediators are ready to work and develop mediation in Bangladesh. Under the leadership of pioneer of Mediation in Bangladesh, Senior Advocate S.N. Goswami sir. I, on behalf of Bangladesh Supreme Court Mediators Forum, expect valuable inputs from the honorable judges present here and fellow mediators. I would like to ensure that, my lord, your inputs will not go to a lost program. Your inputs will be carried out by my fellow mediators. And I thank you all for listening to me. Thank you.
অনেক ধন্যবাদ শাহ মোহাম্মদ বাবর। মামলা মোকদ্দমাকে নিরুৎসাহিত করুন। যখনই সম্ভব আপনার প্রতিবেশীকে সমঝোতা করতে উৎসাহিত করুন। Discourage litigation. Persuade your neighbor to compromise whenever you can. অনুষ্ঠানের এই পর্যায়ে বিনীতভাবে অনুরোধ জানাচ্ছি মিস হুমায়রা নূর, অ্যাক্রিডিটেড মিডিয়েটর, অ্যাডভোকেট, বাংলাদেশ সুপ্রিম কোর্ট, তাকে তার মূল্যবান বক্তব্য প্রদানের জন্য।
Good evening, everyone. Honorable Justices of the Apex Court of Bangladesh, Justice Farah Mahbub ma'am, an advocate of the Appellate Division, Justice Ahmed Sohail, Justice Tamanna Roman Khaledi, Justice Fatima Nazib, Justice Farmida Kader, Justice Fatima Anwar ma'am, Justice Mumbina Asaf ma'am, Justice Sathika Hussain, Justice Ainun Nahar Siddiqa ma'am, Justice Urmi Rahman ma'am, and Justice Abdul Rahman sir. We welcome you all here in this felicitation program honoring Justice Aisha Shujune Muhammad here in this evening. It is an honor for all of us to grace you here in this felicitation program. So I welcome you all, distinguished guests, respected colleagues, and the chairperson of BEAMS in this event, and request you all to forgive me for not being much prepared to honor you all, and I'm humbly seeking for your apologies. Today we are here to appreciate what justices have served the countries throughout the world. I personally feel very aspired to see a lot of female justices serving and working for the women across the world, and I am seeing a lot of justices who are women and working for our country and serving justices and ensuring human rights and protecting women of our country. It is an honor for me to address Ms. Senior Judge Justice Aisha Shujune Muhammad here today. She is the senior most judge of the Supreme Court of Maldives. This is a privilege and profound responsibility for me to speak in front of you all in recognition of Justice Aisha Shujune Muhammad, a figure whose work reflects not only the legal excellence but also the enduring strength of women in the pursuit of justice and harmony. Justice Aisha Shujune is a pioneer for women in law. She became one of the first 2 female judges in the history of Maldives. And it is an honor for me to know that she is a fellow alumni of University of London, and it is an honor for me to know that we are the same, we hold the same background as per our legal background. Thank you so much for gracing your presence here today. Madam Justice Shujune is globally recognized on the prevention of torture. Her work with United Nations Subcommittee of Prevention of Torture is considered as landmark for her contribution as a pioneer there. She was
the first Maldivian elected to a United Nations Treaty body and has been re-elected for 4 times, most recently securing the highest number of votes for 2025-2028 term. Shall we clap for her? She has advised many states for establishing national preventive mechanism and contributed largely for ensuring justice and preventing torture against women. Her journey is especially significant when we consider the broader role of women in law and governance. For generations, women have had to overcome structural and cultural barriers to make their voices heard in courtrooms and decision-making spaces. Justice Susan's achievements are not hers alone. They resonate with countless women who aspire to lead, to serve, and to bring balance into systems that only excluded them. She reminds us that justice is the strongest when it reflects the diversity of people it serves. Equally important is her connection to the practice of mediation. In a world often driven by conflict and adversarial process, mediation offers a path grounded in understanding, dialogue, and reconciliation. Justice Aisha Shujune Muhammad's work reflects this philosophy, recognizing that true justice is not always about winning or losing, but about restoring relationship, fostering mutual respect, and building sustainable peace. This is what is promoted by BEAMS. BEAMS has always been working with different organizations across the world to establish peace and justice through mediation. So I am glad to have you all here, and I'm glad that Ms. Aisha Shujune has shared here today. Thank you so much. We hope to work together in collaboration with Maldives and Bangladesh to escalate and promote mediation across the world. Thank you so much.
ধন্যবাদ হুমায়রা নূর, অ্যাডভোকেট বাংলাদেশ সুপ্রিম কোর্ট। মেডিয়েশন কেবল একটি আইনি প্রক্রিয়া নয়, এটি শান্তি ও সম্প্রীতি স্থাপনের একটি সেতু বন্ধন। As a peacemaker, the lawyer has a superior opportunity of being a good man. There will still be business enough about mediation. অনুষ্ঠানের এই পর্যায়ে আমি বিনীতভাবে অনুরোধ করছি মিস্টার মাহবুবুল ইসলামকে, অ্যাক্রিডিটেড মিডিয়েটর, অ্যাডভোকেট, বাংলাদেশ সুপ্রিম কোর্ট, প্রেসিডেন্ট, বাংলাদেশ মেডিয়েটর্স ফোরাম, তার মূল্যবান বক্তব্য প্রদানের জন্য।
Thank you, Speaker. Very good evening, everybody. Very good evening. Today, we are very delighted to see a symbol of women empowerment. Today's chief guest is our Madam Justice Farah Mahbub from the Appellate Division. Also, the program of this August ceremony to recognize a woman as a justice from the Maldives, Aisha Shujune. Take my greetings on behalf of BEAMS to Bangladesh, to your country, and of course, all the excellent trainer of mediators, Joseph, Simran, and other from the other countries, from Sri Lanka, India, and Nepal. And we are also delighted to see a judge from Bangladesh High Court Division, untireable judge Ahmed Sohail. We should salute him because we have seen him every village visiting to promote mediation. And of course, I would like to give a sincere thanks to BEAMS who are leading this movement under the leadership of Senior Advocate Goswami sir. And I like to put my echo of my heart to those girls who started mediation from the bottom of the country. This is a Bangladesh and many peoples are here, and not only you see we have a very honorable and talented judge in our Supreme Court. They know around, if I do not mistake, Arif Khan is here. They are very good researcher. Around 50 lakh cases are pending. Think yourself. I also thinking myself. Is it possible to finish this through this process, through this litigation process? It's a simple, polite questions to our judge who are in the guest, as a guest, chief guest of honors, and also presiding this session. I would like to give the salute who are carrying the mediation movement to Bangladesh from the other country like Maldives, Sri Lanka, India, Nepal. My humble request is to the judges and also the facilitators, mediators, to make it a close bondage to ensure the movement, because this is a country which is born before 55 years ago with the sacrificing of lots of life of this land. Only one issue was there, that is the social peace, human dignity and equality. The beams are doing this thing, making dissolve outside the court as a ADR through mediation, because mediation is a quicker, faster winner. Thank you, everybody.
এখন গেস্ট স্পিকারদের
Good afternoon and assalamu alaikum. First of all, it's a felicitation program, so it's the heartiest welcome to Madam Justice Aisha Shujune Muhammad of Maldives Supreme Court to Bangladesh, and we are benefited by her gracious presence, Madam Justice Farah Mahbub, along with other very esteemed justices of the Supreme Court of Bangladesh High Court Division, and of course my friends, colleagues and senior lawyers present here. We have effectively turned this room into a courtroom. আমরা এই অনুষ্ঠানকে একটা কোর্টরুম বানিয়ে ফেলেছি। আপনারা সবাই যেভাবে পাথরের মতো বসে আছেন, হ্যাঁ, অল দি স্টোন ফেস, আমাদের মালদ্বীপের সুপ্রিম কোর্টের জাজ ম্যাডাম দেখলে কি মনে করবে? মনে করবে যে এই দেশে কেউ হাসে না, হ্যাঁ, এই দেশে কেউ রিল্যাক্সড না। আমি বুঝতে পারি আপনাদের টেনশন, কারণ আপনাদের যাদের কোর্টে সারাদিন আমরা কাজ করি, তারা যখন কোনো প্রোগ্রামে আসে আমরা তখন ভুলে যাই যে আমরা কোর্টে না। ঠিক আছে, সো একটু রিল্যাক্স হওয়ার চেষ্টা করেন। আর এখানে যারা এসেছেন আজকে, বিশেষ করে সিনিয়র ম্যাডাম জাস্টিসরা এবং স্যারেরা, তারা সারাদিন কাজ করে এসেছেন কোর্টের দায়িত্ব পালন করে। আমার মনে হয় আমাদের বক্তৃতার একটু ছোট করা দরকার, সংক্ষিপ্ত করা দরকার, যাতে খুব দ্রুত এই প্রোগ্রাম শেষ হয়। আর ফেলিসিটেশন প্রোগ্রাম আমরা এটাকে টেনে টুনের জন্য খুব লম্বা না করি। অলরেডি আসরের রক্ত চলতেছে, মাগরিবের রক্ত আসবে, অনেকে এখানে নামাজ পড়ে। সো মোস্ট ইম্পর্টেন্ট থিং ইজ টু সেইং ওয়েলকাম টু হার ম্যাডাম জাস্টিস Shujune Muhammad, welcome to, and Her Excellency High Commissioner of Maldives and the teams and whoever accompanying them. So it is really a rare privilege to greet one of the senior most justices of another neighboring countries to our country. And most interesting point is we have lots of similarities between the judiciary of Maldives and judiciary of Bangladesh. So আমরা যদি পড়াশোনা করি মালদ্বীপসের জুডিশিয়াল হিস্ট্রি এবং তাদের স্ট্রাকচার নিয়ে খুবই মজা পাবো। এত মজা পাবো যে অনেক ঘটনা অথবা দুর্ঘটনা যেসব আমাদের জুডিশিয়ারিতে ঘটে সেগুলো মালদ্বীপের জুডিশিয়ারিতেও ঘটেছে। সো আমি আপনাদেরকে অনুরোধ করব অনলাইনে এবং উইকিপিডিয়ায় খুবই অ্যাভেলেবেল মালদ্বীপের জুডিশিয়াল হিস্ট্রি, বাংলাদেশের জুডিশিয়াল হিস্ট্রি, আমরা সেগুলো জানবো। জানলে আমাদের এনলাইটেনমেন্ট হবে। এবং আজকের এই প্রোগ্রামে আপনারা সবাই উপস্থিত হয়েছেন। আমি আয়োজকদেরকে মনে প্রাণে ধন্যবাদ দিই। ফেলিসিটেশন প্রোগ্রামের মূল গেস্ট আমাদের ম্যাডাম এবং ম্যাডাম জাস্টিস স্যার এবং অন্যান্য যারা উপস্থিত হয়েছেন সকলের প্রতি অসীম কৃতজ্ঞতা জানিয়ে আমি এখানেই শেষ করছি। মিডিয়েশনের জয় হোক, মিডিয়েশন আরও বিস্তৃত হোক সারা বাংলাদেশের সব ক্ষেত্রে, সব টায়ারে। আর আপনারা সবাই একটু হাসি হাসি মুখে বসেন প্লিজ, যেন জাস্টিস একটা সুন্দর স্মৃতি নিয়ে যায়, বাংলাদেশের লয়াররা হাসতে জানে। থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ।
থ্যাংক ইউ মিস্টার আরিফ খান। মধ্যস্থতা জয় বা পরাজয়ের বিষয় নয়, এটি বোঝাপড়া এবং সমাধানের বিষয়। Mediation is not about winning and losing, it is about understanding and resolving. অনুষ্ঠানের পর্যায়ে আমি বিনীতভাবে অনুরোধ জানাচ্ছি মিস্টার শরীফ এমডি সানাউল হক, ডিস্ট্রিক্ট ও সেশন জাজ, নারী ও শিশু নির্যাতন দমন ট্রাইব্যুনাল, ঝালকাঠি।
Thank you very much. First of all, we should laugh, right? What our previous speaker said. Honorable guest of Felicitation, Justice Aisha Shujune Muhammad, the senior most judge of Maldives. Honorable Chief Guest, Judge, Appellate Division. I beg pardon because I am going to shorten my speech and I am not going to mention the names of all the judges of Supreme Court here because I see already 9 judges in front of me and 4 judges are there. So pardon me if I am not going to mention your name. Today we are very much fortunate because so many luminaries of judicial arena from home and abroad, I must say, from Maldives and beginning from our luminary Madam Justice Farah Mahbub. If I am not wrong, the youngest judge at Appellate Division of Bangladesh in history. So we are very much fortunate. And my ladyship, Aisha Shujune, we thank you very much because this would not happen if you had not stepped your footstep here to encourage the younger, very young and tender mediators, school-going mediators. So we thank you very much. At the inception of my speech, Justice Shujune is not only pride of Maldives, she is the pride of all of us from Asia. Because she was not only the first ever female to grace the Supreme Court of Maldives, but also the first ever Maldivian to be elected in a treaty body of United Nations. Her election as re-election as the Vice President of UN body so speaks the mass integrity and expertise that she has achieved. It is not a matter of joke that she has been elected and re-elected for 4 times in the committee for torture. Justice Shujune's encouragement by her works and words to her fellow law students as well as the female students studying law here at Bangladesh or in India or in Pakistan. Recently, in an interview and a message on the Commonwealth Day, I hope Justice Shujune can recollect, she told that she studied law because it would give her much more scope to do something for the vulnerable. I hope she is satisfied. I hope she is very much satisfied. So today, we are not here to follow the protocol. We are here to greet someone who has shown us that law is a mechanism, it is a tool that can encourage us, at the same time that can enlighten us. So let us clap for her. Thank you very much. Today we are here because Shujune and all other guests from Maldives, Sri Lanka, Nepal, and etc. They paid a visit to Nauga to encourage our young, very young school-going mediators who will not only enlighten themselves, but also, I hope, enlighten the Bangladesh. Because today they are getting the training which we got at 40 or after 40, but they are getting it at 14. So just imagine when these girls will be at their full age, when they will enter into their career, they will be more patient, they will be more welcoming, they will be more solid in their profession. As we did, they would not do that. So thank you very much for this. As a judge, I have to deal daily with lots of cases, lots of litigations. But as a mediator, I am reminded every day that behind every litigation, there is a broken heart. There is a broken relationship. So what mediation reminds me, let's do something. Let's heal the heart. Mediation is the mechanism where the rigidity of law and the need of spirit, the need of heart, works together. By clearing the case dockets through mediation, we are not only clearing our court backlogs, but also we are healing the society. So to my fellow colleagues of BEAMS, Bangladesh Mediator Forums, and others, let the graceful presence of our luminaries, especially our judges from Bangladesh Supreme Court Appellate Division, Bangladesh Supreme Court High Court Divisions, and also from Nepal, be encouragement for us that you and we will not be only practitioners of law, let us be the architects of peace. Because mediation is the mechanism that adds the fabric to the social fabric where the ultimate goal is peace. So today, I think, like me, we all are very much fortunate that we are here. We will be able to listen to them, to take something, to some input from them, and disseminate it towards our fellow colleagues and towards the future generation law students and lawyers, as well as the judges also. So I would not elaborate my speech. I wish you all the best, Justice Shujune. You have shown us that your impact might be quiet, but it is quite impactful. You have shown us that your influence has traveled beyond the Turkish waters of your home archipelago. You have shown us that fellowship and your broader ideology for mediation and encouragement of girls has no boundaries. That's why you are here. And we hope someday our senior sirs or we or some of us will be fortunate enough to be there in your country as well. Thank you very much for listening to me, and thank you again for paying visit to Bangladesh. We hope this visit will not be the last one. This will be the beginning. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
This is time for guest of honor. একজন বিচারক কেবল মামলার রায় প্রদানকারী নন, বরং তিনি সমাজে শান্তি স্থাপনের একজন কারিগর। A judge is not only a decider of cases but also a weaver of peace in the society. অনুষ্ঠানের এই পর্যায়ে আমি বিনীতভাবে অনুরোধ জানাচ্ছি অনারেবল জাস্টিস আব্দুর রহমান, জাজ হাইকোর্ট ডিভিশন, সুপ্রিম কোর্ট অফ বাংলাদেশ, to deliver his words.
Good evening, Honorable chief guest, Madam Justice Farama Abu, Honorable Judge of the Appellate Division, Bangladesh Supreme Court, our key point or focus person, that is Madam Justice Aisha Shujune Muhammad, Senior Most Judge, Supreme Court of Maldives. Also present here, Her Excellency High Commissioner of Maldives and Honorable Judges of the High Court Division of the Supreme Court of Bangladesh and others, learned mediator, arbitrator, and advocates present here. Assalamu alaikum. I am very much fortunate here to say something that I think I was the pioneer member of Bangladesh International Mediation Society as with the due diligence of learned senior advocate S.N. Goswami. He took venture to send 15 persons along with me. We represent Bangladesh beams to the Indian International Mediation and Arbitration Center, and we take lessons from that center, and subsequently I also participate another arbitration training, that is professional arbitration training certificates from Indian Institute of Mediation and Arbitration Center. Thereafter, following this spirit, I got participated many arbitration. I conducted many arbitration, even being a arbitrator or even at the chairman of the arbitration. I conducted many arbitration in Bangladesh before elevation to as a judge of the Honorable High Court Division. That's why I am very much indebted to these beams, and this also inspired me while I was the member of the Local Government Reforms Commission of Bangladesh 2024. And in that commission, I took venture to introduce the mediation process into the Reforms Commission, and we elaborately discussed there and got recommendations in our report, and there we recommended the evolution of village court, as because that the village court act is as per the Mazdar Hussain case is contrary to our constitution. That's why we suggest there in Bangladesh judicial administration, in every district there are district legal aid officer, and they tremendously do the mediation service, and that a great success for Bangladesh judiciary to reduce the backlog. And considering that point, we recommend in the Local Government Reforms Commission that there shall be every Upozela a legal aid officer, Upozela legal aid officer, and they will create mediation center in every union parishad instead of village court. And we already recommended the recommendation through the Local Government Reforms Commission, and I think the government of Bangladesh, if it considered positively, then the area of mediation will get a large extent, and the beams will make contribution over the whole process to enrich the mediation and arbitration in Bangladesh. I would like to finally appreciate the presence of Madam Aisha Shujune, and I think our mediation and arbitration process will be enriched through the collaboration of these two countries, Maldives and Bangladesh. I wish every success of BEAMS, and finally deeply appreciate the presence of Madam Justice Shujane. Thanks to all.
মেডিয়েশন হলো অন্যের চোখে পৃথিবীকে দেখার এবং উভয়ের জন্য গ্রহণযোগ্য একটা সমাধান খুঁজে বের করার শিল্প। Mediation is the art of seeing the world through someone else's eyes and finding common ground. অনুষ্ঠানের এই পর্যায়ে আমি বিনীতভাবে অনুরোধ জানাচ্ছি অনারেবল জাস্টিস আহমেদ সোহেল, জাজ হাইকোর্ট ডিভিশন, বাংলাদেশ সুপ্রিম কোর্ট, তার মূল্যবান বক্তব্য প্রদানের জন্য। ধন্যবাদ।
Honorable Justice Farah Mahmood, a highly distinguished judge of Appellate Division, Supreme Court of Bangladesh. In fact, for her various landmark judgments, we consider her as a star judge of our judiciary. Also, she is the chairman of Bangladesh Judicial Service Commission. Honorable Justice Aisha Shujune Mohammed, Senior Most Judge, Supreme Court of Maldives, the main attraction of this felicitation ceremony. Honorable Justice Abdul Rahman, Judge, Supreme Court of Bangladesh. Honorable Justice Urmi Rahman, Supreme Court of Bangladesh, who is presiding this ceremony. And the Honorable Justice, the galaxy of Supreme Court judges present here today. Guest of honor, Her Excellency Madam Shuin Rashid, High Commissioner of Maldives to Bangladesh. Mr. S.M. Goswami, Senior Advocate, Supreme Court of Bangladesh and Chairman of BEAMS. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, very good afternoon to all of you. I'm deeply grateful for inviting me to this ceremony and for giving me the opportunity to share my experiences with you. We are gathered here today at the Supreme Court Mediation Center, a place that symbolizes not just the law, but pursuit of harmony. It is a profound honor to stand before such an illustrious gathering to celebrate a jurist whose career exemplifies the very spirit of balanced justice, the Honorable Madam Justice Aisha Shujune Mohammed, Supreme Court of Maldives. Now at this juncture, I feel that I should focus something on mediation, which is often described as the gentle art of peacemaking. Unlike the adversarial nature of a courtroom, mediation seeks a win-win situation. It values the relationship as much as the result. Today, as we honor Justice Aisha we also honor the growth of mediation in our region. Justice Aisha's presence here reminds us that while our borders may be defined by geography, our legal aspirations so find swift, fair, and collaborative resolutions are universal. Mediation as an alternative dispute resolution is an equitable process which ensures easy access to justice. There are many advantages of mediation rather than going for a prolonged litigation. In mediation, the parties have control over the mediation process in terms of its scope and outcome, the right to decide whether to settle or not, the terms of settlement, the process is voluntary, and any party can opt out of it at any stage if he feels that it is not helping him. The procedure is speedy, efficient, and cheaper. It is simple, flexible, and time-bound. The mediator is impartial, neutral, and independent person. The process is confidential, which is the big advantage for both the parties. For promoting mediation in Bangladesh and other South Asian countries, public awareness needs to be created, change of mentality is needed amongst the lawyers and litigant people. Adequate training for mediators and arbitrators need to be arranged and also need to build sufficient mediation centers. To encourage efforts to develop the field of mediation through research, studies, training, it is essential to establish an international mediation academy in Bangladesh. Also, I think it is the high time for Bangladesh to be a signatory of Singapore Convention. The Singapore Convention will provide a more effective way of enforcing mediated settlements of corporate disputes involving businesses in Bangladesh and other signatory countries. Till date, the convention has 54 signatories, including India, Sri Lanka, Maldives, China, US, and other countries. The Singapore Convention ultimately aims to facilitate international trade by rendering mediation an efficient and entrusted method for solving cross-border disputes alongside with arbitration and litigation. We know that the judiciary of Bangladesh is overburdened with nearly 4.5 million cases. A number is mounting day by day with institution of fresh cases. In this backdrop, we can easily understand the importance of promoting mediation in our judiciary to reduce the huge backlog of cases. Therefore, in the Maldives as well as in Bangladesh, mediation is becoming the heartbeat of a modern judiciary. In an international conference, the Honorable Chief Justice of Singapore, Mr. Justice Sundaresh Menon, said that mediation is the way forward. That is, it ensures peace and development. In the famous words of US President Abraham Lincoln, emphasizing the profound significance of idea that discourage litigation, persuade your neighbors to compromise whenever you can, point out then the nominal winner is often a real loser in fees, expense, and waste of time. In fact, mediation allows us to design our own solution. Now, to felicitate Justice Aisha is to recognize a pioneer. As the senior-most judge of the Supreme Court of Maldives, her journey is a testament to integrity and intellectual rigor. However, beyond the bench, her support for alternative dispute resolution speaks to a deeper understanding of human conflict. A judgment might end a case, but a successful mediation can heal a community. The idea that the power of a judge is not just in ruling over, but in guiding towards the peace. This ceremony, organized by Bangladesh International Mediation Society, is a vital link in the chain of South Asian legal cooperation. When we invite such an esteemed guest from the Maldives to Bangladesh, we are sharing more than just a stage, we are sharing a vision. Justice Aisha's recent involvement in the mediation conference held on 18 April in Nogon district, Bangladesh, highlights her continued influence as a regional leader in judicial reform and the protection of human rights. She had also served as a member of Judicial Service Commission of Maldives. In addition, she has served the United Nations Subcommittee on the Prevention of Torture. We have already heard that. And she has also recently been re-elected as SPT Vice Chairperson and Rapporteur in 2025 for a further period of 2 years in the United Nations. So all these things you have to bear in mind, and my messages to the fellow legal practitioners, that let this occasion be a catalyst. Let us look at Justice Aisha Shujune's career and let us move mediation from the periphery of practice to its very center. I believe that Honorable Justice Aisha's visit strengthens the bridge of friendship between Bangladesh and the Maldives, a country of mesmerizing natural beauty consisting of around 1,200 coral islands, which is known as the tropical paradise in the world. We admire Honorable Justice Farah Mahbub for her contribution in our judiciary, as well as we also admire Justice Aisha's dedication. We celebrate their achievements and we are inspired by their commitment to a more peaceful world through the law. I wish them continued wisdom and health. May their work continue to light the path for future generations of peacemakers. With these remarks, I conclude my speech and express my sincere thanks to the guests from overseas, especially from Nepal, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, India, and Maldives, and my heartfelt gratitude to the organizers of BEAMS for arranging this felicitation ceremony. In particular, Mr. S.M. Goswami, the chairman of BEAMS, who is the torch bearer of mediation, trying his level best to promote mediation in Bangladesh. Best wishes, and thank you all for listening to me with great patience. Thank you all. That's all for today.
Coming together is a beginning, keeping together in progress, working together in success. Now it is time for the main part of our program. That to whom today's program has been arranged, the one who is at the center for our interest. We are here to hear to Honorable Justice Madam Aisha Shujune Mahmood about her work in the Maldives, which is an inspiration for all of us in the legal profession. Now, I would like to call upon Honorable Justice Ms. Aisha Shujune Mahmood to deliver her word.
Honorable Justices of the Supreme Court of Bangladesh, High Commissioner of Maldives to Bangladesh, judges, founders and members of the Bangladesh International Mediation Society, representatives from the SAARC region, and esteemed participants at this gathering, Assalamu alaikum and good evening. First, I wish to express that I stand before you today with a heart full of gratitude and humility as I accept this generous recognition. I am deeply honored by this gesture, and I extend my sincere thanks to the esteemed Chief Justice and Justices of the Supreme Court of Bangladesh for the honor. It is a privilege to be here in Bangladesh, a sisterly nation that shares close and enduring ties with the Maldives. I extend my sincere appreciation to the organizers and for the opportunity to address such an eminent audience on a subject that's important to me, the intersection of women and mediation. That is the memo I got. The meaningful participation of women in mediation is not merely desirable, it is essential. This is reflected in the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action, which was recognition of a stark reality. Conflicts disproportionately affect civilians, particularly women and children. After the Beijing Declaration, the momentum continued with the adoption of the United Nations Security Council Resolution 1325 and subsequent resolutions which have expanded this agenda, underscoring the need for continued global commitment and deeper engagement. These frameworks are built on 4 pillars: participation, protection, prevention, and relief and recovery. While significant progress has been made in the area of protection, especially in condemning violence against women in conflict, the same cannot be said for women's participation in mediation and peace processes. This remains a critical gap. Women mediators are still underrepresented, particularly at the highest levels of international negotiation. Yet mediation is not limited to global diplomacy. It is equally vital in national, local, and community levels. Despite clear commitments in our legal and institutional frameworks to ensure equality, meaningful participation of women has yet to be fully realized in practice. Building a culture of peace must therefore begin with engaging women and girls in mediation at all levels, including in schools and communities. Evidence consistently shows that inclusive mediation leads to more thoughtful deliberation, stronger decisions, and more sustainable outcomes. When women and girls are involved, they bring perspectives that enrich dialogue and contribute to lasting solutions. Such engagement also nurtures confidence, instills responsibility, and cultivates leadership. It empowers women not only to support their communities, but also to grow as individuals and as leaders in their own right. This brings me to an important question for all of us. How do we ensure that women's contributions to mediation are not only acknowledged, but actively prioritized? I assert that this requires us to work towards a future where women are equally represented at every level of mediation, local, national, and international. Achieving this requires more than acknowledgement. It demands a shift in mindset and a commitment to concrete action. At its core, this shift rests on advancing genuine gender equality. While progress has been made in the front, what we have achieved so far is not sufficient. The advancements we made should not lead to complacency. It should motivate us to do more. De jure equality alone is not enough. What we must strive for is de facto equality. Without this, sustainable development and lasting peace will remain elusive. Greater inclusion of women, in mediation strengthens peace processes themselves. It broadens support for negotiations, ensures diverse perspectives are reflected in the outcomes, and foster deeper acceptance of peace within communities. Recognizing this, the United Nations Secretary General launched the Common Pledge for Women's Participation in 2024, encouraging member states to achieve at least 1/3 representation of women in peace processes, while continuing to strive toward full parity. At the national level, I recognize that Bangladesh has demonstrated commendable commitment through its action plan on women, peace, and security adopted in 2019. As this framework evolves, it is my hope that it will be further strengthened to advance women's participation even more effectively. I would like to also acknowledge the valuable work of the Bangladesh International Mediation Society. Through its efforts to promote mediation across society, from students to professionals, it is helping to foster a culture of dialogue and constructive conflict resolution. Its focus on encouraging the participation of women and girls is particularly noteworthy. In closing, I emphasize that our true measure lies in action. We share a responsibility to apply what we know and to ensure that women's contributions are fully recognized and meaningfully integrated into peace efforts. If we remain committed, not only words, but in action, then meaningful and lasting progress is within our reach. I thank you once again for this incredible honor and wish you a wonderful evening. Thank you.
In the middle of every difficulty lies opportunities. Mediation is the art of finding common ground. It is a great honor to invite our chief guest, Honorable Justice Madam Farah Mahbub, to share her valuable words. Our chief guest, Honorable Justice Madam Farah Mahbub, Judge Appellate Division, Supreme Court of Bangladesh.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable Justice Aisha Shujune Muhammad, Most Senior Judge, Supreme Court of Maldives, Honorable Justices, High Court Division, Supreme Court of Bangladesh, Her Excellency Ms. Shwini Rashid, High Commissioner of Maldives to Bangladesh, distinguished members of the bench and the bar, respected mediators, honored speakers, and esteemed guests from India, Nepal, Bhutan, and Sri Lanka. Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon to you all. It is a privilege to join this distinguished gathering in the honor of Justice Aisha Shujune Muhammad, Honorable Justice of the Supreme Court of Maldives, whose career reflects a remarkable blend of judicial depth and institutional leadership marked by her eminent contributions across private practice, the judiciary, and public service. Her distinguished engagement with the global human rights jurisprudence and at the same time her work in judicial governance and legal education reminds us that building a justice system is not only about deciding cases, but also a commitment to strengthening the rule of law and nurturing the next generation of legal minds. Distinguished audience, turning to the theme of today's discussion, if we look consciously at our own legal system in Bangladesh, mediation is already there, firmly embedded in law. At its core, mediation has been statutorily recognized as a flexible, informal, confidential, and non-adversarial process where the mediator facilitates settlement without imposing a decision. Mediation in Bangladesh is not confined to a single statutory framework. Rather, it has been progressively embedded across a wide spectrum of laws, reflecting its growing institutional significance. For example, the Code of Civil Procedure 1908 mandates mediation through sections 89A to 89C, making it an integral part of civil litigation. These provisions empower courts to either conduct mediation themselves or refer disputes to trained mediators or legal aid officers. But the framework extends far beyond the said code. Mediation finds expression in the Orthorin Adalat Ain 2003, which facilitates settlement conference in financial disputes, not only during the course of trial, but also at the stage of execution and even after disposal of execution proceedings. Within the evolving family law regime, formerly under the Family Courts Ordinance 1985 and now under the Family Courts Act 2023, reconciliation stands as a mandatory step to be undertaken prior to the final adjudication of disputes. The Bangladesh Labor Act 2006 incorporates mediation in the resolution of industrial disputes at the grassroots level. Additionally, fiscal statutes such as the Value Added Tax and Supplementary Duty Act 2012, the Customs Act 2023, and the Income Tax Act 2023 provide avenues for alternative dispute settlement in revenue matters. Even within criminal jurisprudence, the concept finds limited recognition through the framework of compoundable offenses, where elements of negotiated settlement are permitted, thereby demonstrating the cross-sectoral integration of mediation within the legal system. The Legal Aid Services Act 2000 institutionalizes mediation through state-supported legal aid mechanisms. Mediation is one of the vital services provided by the district legal aid officers and the Supreme Court Legal Aid Office under the said Act. As of March 2026, 1,99,957 cases have been resolved successfully through mediation. Esteemed guests, a significant development in this regard is the enactment of the Legal Aid Services Amendment Ordinance 2025 and 2026, which came into force on 1st of July 2025 and 7th January 2026, respectively. The First Amendment Ordinance of 2025 introduces both pre-case and post-case mediation, allowing disputes to be resolved either physically or virtually through mutual compromise. Most notably, following the amendments, the schedule to the Legal Aid Services Act 2000 incorporates mandatory pre-case mediation in a wide range of disputes, including family disputes, preemption disputes, land disputes relating to partition trouble by the civil judges, negotiable instruments and checks, dishonor cases below Taka 3 lakh, rent control matters, and more controversially, dowry-related disputes. The ordinances also enlarged the number of mediators at district level by creating 2 additional posts of chief legal aid officers and special mediators, along with the existing post of district legal aid officer. Most importantly, Section 21C of the Ordinance 2025 made the mediation agreement, once signed by the parties and the mediator and certified by the chief legal aid officer, is final, binding, and enforceable. It is deemed to be a court decree or order and can be executed through a competent court. Previously, parties often failed to comply with mediated settlements, forcing the other side to initiate fresh litigation. These undermine the purpose of mediation and added to the burden of minor cases in courts. By making such agreements legally binding, the amendment ordinances introduce a significant and necessary reform. A further development in this area has been the introduction of a new subsection to Section 345 of the Code of Criminal Procedure 1898 by the Criminal Procedure Amendment Ordinance 2025, ratified as an Act of Parliament on 10th April 2026, which empowers the court to refer the petty criminal disputes to the district legal aid officers for mediation purpose. This legislative shift attempts to institutionalize mediation at the very threshold of litigation. Yet, the question arises, how often mediation is treated as a real opportunity rather than just another procedural step. The National Legal Aid Services Organization suggests that 90% of disputes are actually capable of settlement through mediation, a finding that closely aligns with the global commitment under United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, particularly Goal 16, which aspires to ensure access to justice for all. So perhaps the issue is not whether mediation works. Rather, the real question is why it is not being utilized to its full potential. Dear audience, mediation in the context of socio-economic condition of Bangladesh is often shaped by social realities like inequality, power imbalance, and sometimes by fear. For example, in family disputes or cases involving women, it often remains a matter of concern where the parties are negotiating freely or acting under pressure. In practice, mediation in Bangladesh often takes an evaluative form where mediators actively suggest possible outcomes. While this is not inherently problematic, it calls for caution to ensure that the process does not become overly directive or authoritative, thereby undermining party autonomy. Alongside these conceptual concerns, several procedural limitations also persist. For example, although mediation is mandatory under the Code of Civil Procedure 1908, the absence of effective consequences for non-compliance weakens its practical enforceability. Further, there is no structured provision ensuring the presence of female mediators in gender-sensitive disputes, which remains a critical gap. Then comes the issue of digitalization or lack of awareness about mediation process. We speak increasingly of online mediation, but a large portion of our population still lacks digital access or literacy. If we move too quickly without addressing that gap, there is a risk of creating a system that is efficient but not inclusive. Distinguished presence. Across South Asia, mediation has developed largely as a response to structural constraints within formal justice systems, particularly in the backdrop of chronic case backlog, limited judicial resources, and unequal access to legal services. In India, Section 89 of the Civil Procedure Code, as amended in 2002, formally institutionalized court-referred ADR mechanisms, while the Mediation Act 2023 further strengthens a structured mediation regime with provisions for accreditation and enforcement of settlements. Nepal has adopted mediation more explicitly through the Mediation Act 2011, establishing community mediation centers aimed at local dispute resolution. Sri Lanka, meanwhile, has a relatively distinctive model based on the Mediation Boards Act 1988, which makes pretrial mediation mandatory for a wide range of minor civil and criminal matters through community-based mediation boards. In Bhutan, mediation is formally recognized under the Alternative Dispute Resolution Act of Bhutan 2013, reflecting the country's emphasis on harmonious dispute resolution aligned with its philosophy of gross national happiness. The mediation system in the Maldives has developed as an integral component of its broader justice delivery framework. It operates alongside the formal court system and is designed to resolve civil, family, and minor criminal disputes through consensual settlement rather than adversarial litigation. The judiciary actively facilitates settlement efforts by referring appropriate cases for mediation at various stages of proceedings. Across the region, socioeconomic conditions continue to shape mediation as a necessity-driven mechanism rather than a fully professionalized dispute resolution industry. Honored presence. Today, as we honor Justice Aisha Shujune Muhammad, we are reminded that a modern judiciary must go beyond adjudication and strive to resolve disputes in a manner that responds to human realities. We are sincerely grateful to our guest of honor for gracing this ceremony with her presence, strengthening the close bond between Maldives and Bangladesh through the sharing of knowledge and experience, particularly in the field of mediation. We also extend our heartfelt appreciation to our distinguished guests from India, Nepal, Bhutan, and Sri Lanka for their valued presence and contributions. Our sincere thanks are due to the organizers, Bangladesh International Mediation Society, Bangladesh Mediation Forum, and Supreme Court Mediation Forum for arranging this meaningful occasion. This August gathering today reflects the growing importance of cross-border dialogue, regional cooperation in the evolution of mediation. It opens the door for deeper collaboration among our countries, fostering the exchange of ideas, experiences, and best practices in shaping more responsive legal systems. Mediation, in this regard, stands as an effective and people-centered process to resolve disputes efficiently with mutual understanding. As we look forward, the prospects of mediation in Bangladesh remain promising, yet they call for significant commitment from all stakeholders in civil society. Let this occasion reaffirm our dedication to strengthening mediation and enhancing cooperation between our jurisdictions towards a more responsive and inclusive system of justice. Esteemed presence, after listening to the insightful remarks of so many distinguished speakers, I extend my sincere gratitude to all of you for your attentive and thoughtful engagement with my address. Thank you.
Thank you, our Honorable Chief Guest, for your valuable speech. Mediation teaches us that a fair solution is better than a long battle. Urmi Rahman to deliver her presidential speech. And I also thanks all of you for your time and presence today. আমি সবার থেকে বিদায় নিয়ে নিচ্ছি। আমি রাশিদা চৌধুরী নীলু, অ্যাডভোকেট অ্যাপিলেট ডিভিশন অ্যান্ড হাইকোর্ট ডিভিশন, বাংলাদেশ সুপ্রিম কোর্ট, এতক্ষণ আপনাদের সাথে থাকবার জন্য এবং আপনাদের সবাইকে এই অনুষ্ঠানের পরে চা চক্রের জন্য আমন্ত্রণ জানাচ্ছি। আমাদের অনারেবল গেস্ট এবং জাজেদের জন্য উপরে ব্যবস্থা করা হয়েছে এবং আপনাদের সবার জন্য এখানে কিছু আপ্যায়নের ব্যবস্থা করা হয়েছে। Now I would like to call upon Honorable Justice Urmi Rahman to deliver her words.
Honorable Chief Guest of today's program, honorable guests of honors, honorable judges of the Supreme Courts and distinguished member of the bars,
ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon to you all. Being the most junior 12 female judges of the Supreme Court, it is both an honor and privilege for me to preside over today's program organized by Bangladesh International Mediation Society in honor of our esteemed guest, Justice Aisha Shujune Mohammed, Senior Judge of Supreme Court of Maldives. We are indeed gratified by the presence of such a distinguished member of the judiciary who has kindly visited Bangladesh to participate in a student wing conference organized by Bangladesh International Mediation Society at Paharpur, Noga. The program, as we have come to know, was a very successful one with her presence among the students, young mediators, which is very meaningful and inspiring for those who are actively participating in this particular area of alternative dispute resolution, an area which has in recent times assumed considerable significance within the administration of justice. At this stage, I would like to mention a pertinent topic about which Her Lordship Justice Farah Mahbub mentioned, the amendment ordinance which has come into effect in 2025 and another one in 2026. And these two amendments of Legal Aid Act, which is basically an outcome of the July uprising followed by the reforms. And in the amendment of Legal Aid Act 2000, as Her Lordship Justice Farah Mahbub mentioned, that pre-litigation mediation has been made mandatory in certain cases such as family disputes, land-related disputes, and some compoundable criminal offense, and such as dowry-related offense and petty offenses which could be resolved through mediation before the parties move before a court to file a formal litigation. And I just would like to add with Your Lordship that by this amendment, the execution, the outcome of the decision which comes through mediation among the parties, this has been made executable through court and has been given effect as a decree of a court. So these amendments are very important, and a very update regarding these amendments are that these two ordinances has been presented before the Parliament as a bill to be considered by the parliamentary authority. This occasion was, in fact, organized by Bangladesh International Mediation Society for felicitation of Her Lordship, Madam Justice Aisha Shujune Mohammed, who has come all the way from Maldives and visited Bangladesh and attended various programs in here. The judiciary of Maldives, as we know, and Bangladesh are united by common commitment to the rule of law, access to justice, and the continuous improvement of dispute resolution process. It is our earnest expectation that such engagement will further strengthen mutual understanding and contribute meaningfully to the development of mediation practices in our respective jurisdiction. As Honorable Justice Mr. Ahmed Sohel has mentioned, that presence of Her Lordship Aisha Shujune Mohammed, through her presence, we are sharing a vision. This is not just a formal event. This is something to share our experience and to share our vision in this field. Justice Aisha Shujune stated in her speech about women participation in mediation. And it is really inspiring for all the women present here and who are working as an accredited mediators in this field, when she said that women participation is not only expected but essential. And this sounds very inspiring for all of us who are working in this particular field. And she also said that women's participation makes mediation stronger and it helps diverse perspectives. I do not want to miss out the opportunity to say a few words that before coming to this program, I took the opportunity to go through some online videos to